All right. How do we sound back there, guys? Good? Awesome. All right, good afternoon, everyone. I do want to make a small public service announcement real quick. Unfortunately, my control issues were not able to control the printing of the programs. And there are many mistakes, which has never happened before. So I apologize. A couple things to point out for the first half is that our sixth speaker this evening will actually be Jonah Stone, and Miss Eliza Zuhl will be speaking in the second half. In the second half, some of our speakers are actually going to be speaking in a different order than they are listed, so don't be surprised when that happens. And the other big mistake is that Owen Phelps is listed twice. Owen Phelps is a wonderfully charming young man. However, he is not speaking twice. We just have two Owens in the class. So the eighth speaker is actually the incomparable Owen Lalonde. So apologies. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm Mrs. Chatterton. I've been doing, teaching public speaking since, I think we realized today, 2008. So we've been doing this for a while, and this is one of the first years where I've had a group stay with me for a full year, and as such, it's really been one of the absolute highlights of my public speaking time. And as such, since I know they are absolutely ready because they have been with me for a year, I'm going to be having students run each half of this evening's presentations. So I thank you so much for coming. I thank you for always being there for these kiddos and helping them along the way. They are absolutely wonderful human beings. And at this point, I'm going to hand off the first half of the final to Senior Maddox Ward.
Hello, welcome everyone. So I'd like to introduce our first guest, or our first speaker for tonight. You said he wanted me to do a funny intro for him, but I'm not funny, so. Introducing first, none other than Jack Clough.
For my speech, I'll be doing the top 10 things underclassmen should remember when entering high school, starting from least important to most important. Number 10, the teachers are always going to be there for you. So if you ever need anything, be sure to reach out to them. Number 9, when P is by the bathrooms, that's the best time to go, or else you're going to be waiting for at least 30 minutes. Number 8, you can't be perfect, but you can get 1% better every day. Number 7, make sure you pack a lunch because the school lunch is absolutely horrendous unless it's Bosco sticks. Number 6, be careful what you tell people because if you tell one person, then you're telling the whole school. Number 5, don't worry about trying to impress people because you won't talk to 75% of them once you graduate. Number 4, put in as much extra time as you can. You'll see the progress. It doesn't matter what other people say because you did it for yourself, not for them. Number 3, it's okay to say no to overworking yourself. Myself and others, I am sure, have the same problem saying no to people. Remember, you are your own person. Number 2, when you think you're at your best, remember, there's nothing more that people want to see than to see you fail. Number 1, the most important one. If you ever feel like you're in a dump or in a bad mojo, remember your teachers, guidance counselors, and fellow friends will always be there for you, and they'll always have the best judgment for you. I have one memory of this, and it actually happened this year. I got pretty bad news about one of my family members, and instead of holding it in, I talked to one of my best friends, my favorite teacher, someone I view as a second mother, Miss Chatterton. She didn't interrupt me, stop me, or anything. She just listened. She showed me that she is there for her students, and she doesn't judge them on what happened to them in their past, but how they are as a person. I want to personally thank you, Miss Chatterton, for not giving up on me Keep slaying the day away. Thank you for pushing me to be the best person and my best self every day. I will miss not seeing you every day next year. Hopefully Michael will buy you that BLT he promised in September. Thank you everyone for coming out and enjoy the rest of the show. We've worked really hard for this all year. Thank you.
Awesome job, Jack. All right, second speaker of the night is going to be the lovely Claire Burns.
When I was given our final assignment for this class to write about our high school experience, I knew exactly what I wanted to write about. I had typed out a 3-minute speech highlighting each part of high school as we all battled the effects of COVID. As I began to practice this speech, it became clear to me that this was not my personal high school experience. Rather, it was challenges we had all faced and how we all managed. It was not personal to me, and I felt that it hadn't captured my own true feelings. And I'm sure that we can all agree, 3 years later, the last thing you would like to hear is a 3-minute recap of such a disheartening time. So instead, I would like to reflect on my own experience. I started my freshman year like most of us, young, naive, but full of hope. I had a lack of understanding of what the next 4 years would bring me. Quickly, this hope turned into anxiety-filled days, sleepless nights, and the battle of getting out of bed in the morning. For me, this was not a phase. Rather, it was a feeling of what felt like an eternal sad. It had become months of this feeling, consuming my everyday thoughts and causing a severe lack of all emotion. With a daily routine consisting of extended amounts of sleep, refusal to socialize, or the dreaded decision of leaving the comfort of my dimly lit room and warm bed. At this time, my 16-year-old self did not see the light at the end of the tunnel that everyone had told me about. In fact, I refused to believe that there was one. That is, until I found a group of people, and little did I know, they would change my entire life around for the better. With the help of these people, a couple of teachers, and my family, I was able to finally understand that the light at the end of the tunnel was not something to be seen with the naked eye, but rather, it was something that must be searched for. With the strong encouragement from my peers, I had become a completely new person. Within a year, the little things began to change for the better. The 12-minute drive to school every morning had gone from a dreadful, long-lasting trek to an excited anticipation to see what the day held for me. The walk through the halls had gone from earbuds blasting music, tuning out the noise, and head down in avoidance, to eagerly searching for my best friends to tell them that they will not believe what happened last class, or sharing a laugh before our next class. Each of the classes began to excite me, along with the last spell of the day. We walk out of those side doors reminiscing on a memory from 7th period lunch, and the change in topic asking what we're all doing that weekend. In these 4 years, I found the best friends I could ever ask for. The best friendships a teenage girl could have were built right within these walls. I am not sure where I would be without these people, and where my love would lie. Thankfully, I now know that it lies within the people who care for me most. I was taught by teachers who, believe it or not, would choose their jobs and their students over anything. I was woken up by a family who sent me off to school with "I love yous" and "drive safe." I was wished goodnight alongside my best friends after a full day spent together, consisting of shopping, lunch dates, and the infamous she shed get-togethers. Although it felt that a majority of high school was consumed by wishing it away, I'm incredibly thankful for the couple of years I was able to hold on to and to make the most memories of. I have learned to not let the bad moments define me. Rather, I use it as a reminder of my strength and resilience to help me push forward. With this being said, I would like to thank you, Watertown High School, for giving me this experience and memories that will last a lifetime. Thank you.
All right, our third speaker of the night is going to be my partner in crime, Ryan Podvin.
Good evening. As I am sitting here, approximately 30 minutes before the speech is due, I am writing this speech and it is drizzling outside. The tone of the air is solemn and monotone. The light pitter-patter of the droplets fall on the window and leave streaks of dampness down the silicone surface. The humidity leaves a feeling of discomfort across my body, with nothing to fix it besides the sweet embrace of the air conditioner. You all may be thinking, okay, Shakespeare, what's next? Well, as you all know, this tone and language is cringy as hell, so I'm just going to completely throw it out of the window and continue normally. Being so close to graduation, looking back, I now understand why I've always enjoyed school, and why I wish so much now, so close to a new chapter in my life, to go back and completely restart. So, I cannot do this, but I will simply list some things I consider crucial aspects of high school. Relationships. Sure, I have always appreciated the relationships I have had with people greatly, but recently I have gained a new level of such. I have had the blessing of being reunited with old friends that I enjoyed my early years with, along with meeting many new people who have introduced an entirely new light into my life. Without the people I've had the pleasure of surrounding myself with these past few years, I honestly do not know where I would be. I'm pretty sure Maddox was the sole reason I actually took public speaking in the first place, so at the very least I would not be on the stage. Next, memories. Yes, some of the memories that I've stored in my mind these past few years, such as heart surgery, have sucked tremendously. Despite this, the number of great memories outweighs the negatives 100 to 1. Memories such as Maddox and I formulating diss tracks of our favorite people instead of watching a football game, or Primetime and I deciding to come up with the most outlandish quotes in the worst of situations, or procrastinating an essay just to ask Zach or Owen 2 hours before the assignment is due if he has even started it, just to be hit with a swift, yeah, no. All of the memories like these have made my high school experience so much better, even if they do not remotely correlate to the exact goal of high school. Now, the aspect that may be the most crucial out of them all, and that is appreciation and gratefulness. And I know, at the start of the speech, I went on about how I'd not address or speak cringy, but this one is completely unavoidable. Despite the many things I may dislike about our school, I cannot help but be appreciative. As stated previously, I am grateful for the relationships and memories. I am grateful for the opportunity to take college-level classes in high school, the opportunity to have access to many sports and a gym after school, the opportunity to actually work towards stuff that interests me. I am also appreciative of my teachers, one such as Mr. Joels and of course Ms. Chariton, for honestly always being there and being the absolute coolest. Even if Mr. Joels lost 2 of my labs last year and still gave me a 70 when I evidently handed them in for a second time, he was still always super cool and helped me so much. Especially when calculus is absolutely beating me to the floor, he never gave up in trying to help me. To that I say thank you. And yes, there are so many other things that I can list, but frankly, I'm running out of time, and they aren't as crucial, so it's completely fine. Overall, I would like to thank everyone. My teachers, friends, family, audience. Did I mention Primetime? He's pretty cool, honestly. Anyways, thank you.
I wasn't expecting to get a shout out today, but I appreciate that. All right, next speaker of the night is going to be the amazing Luna Eisenhower.
It's funny how much someone's life can change in just one short year. You can go from being the happiest you've ever been to barely being able to get out of bed. To have your senior year ripped away from you just because you're sad. But it's not just that. I'm not just sad. I cannot do what my peers do. I can't just wake up, get ready, and head to school. I lay there thinking, what's the point? I did not go to prom. I did not see the point. My closest friend lives 1,000 miles away, but I could not be more grateful for him. There have been times where I think about leaving this life behind, but then I think about my accomplishments, the people I've made proud. It would all be for nothing. I could not do that to myself or to them. I refuse to lose to myself. Thank you.
was really great. All right, our next speaker, the other half of the Rotary Club duo, it's Adele Landfear.
For my entire senior year, as I am sure many of my classmates can agree upon, we have been told to reflect on our high school career. Another thing that my classmates could agree upon is that we are all sick of it. From one assignment to another, we are required to reflect on, to reminisce, to think of the lessons we have learned. After doing one too many assignments on reflection, I ultimately made the decision to avoid the topic at all costs. So when I opened our public speaking final in Google Classroom, an assignment I was already dreading, I let out a sigh of disappointment as I found all the prompts to be rooted in reflection. It was at that very moment I made it my goal not to write a speech in reflection. With that being said, here's what I have carefully curated to predict the future. When we cross that stage, the finish line that concludes these 13 years of our education, I know that life will never be the same. When the final cap is thrown, tassels flip to the left, when you say your final goodbyes to school friends you may or may not see again. We spend our summer, everyone pretending the true end is not near. That feeling when reality cannot bring itself to feel real. When one of your friends brings up their departure date and everyone hushes them in fear that saying it out loud will make it more accurate than it already is. The final board game nights will last far too long because people like Zach cannot admit to being cheaters. The last of those intense spikeball competitions trying to dismiss the undeniable fact that you may never get to yell at Lily for missing the ball and right afterwards missing one yourself. When you can no longer text Belle on my way and not even a minute later text here. What on earth will I do when I need a peanut butter pandemonium hot fudge sundae from Stewart's and I cannot call Kylie begging her to come with me? Who will be there to shamelessly steal aux from people because the only person brave enough to do so was Addie? And who am I going to recruit to tell me an idea is bad when the logic leaves my head and Trey cannot knock some sense into me? What will we all do when we have to leave Mallory, that one junior friend that every senior friend group acquires? By the way, Mal, you still owe me $10. Sure, a FaceTime call is easy to make, but once our lives decide to take their own route, how will we manage? The funny part about life is that nothing fully hits you until it's past. How do we accept the far too bittersweet fact that our time together has come to an end and life will never look as it did before? Well, now that the dramatics are over, looking back at it, what I have written, I suppose what I've done, is written a self-reflective speech, but I choose not to call it that. However, instead, let's term it as a realization. Maybe what we all need is not to reflect on the past nor spend our days thinking about the future, but rather live in the beauty of our daily moments. With that being said, I will end this speech with one final remark. Live present and love freely. Thank you.
Wonderful job, Adele. Our next speaker for tonight is going to be the amazing Jonah Stone.
Good evening, Watertown. Welcome to the mind of Jonah Stone, a place of struggle and triumph, just as any human who walks this earth. My mind. Happiness is a matter of one's most ordinary and everyday mode of consciousness, being busy and lively and unconcerned with self. In simpler terms, it means my mind only runs under constant pressures and busyness. While others struggle to juggle tasks, I struggle when I have a lack of tasks. This can be a blessing and a curse, as it creates two worlds in my life. When I'm busy and getting loaded with activities, I only have to focus on those activities. But when I'm not busy, I am trapped, just me and my mind. Although I believe many Americans struggle with stress and anxiety, notably in younger generations, my life is a much more unique case. I almost consider myself fortunate in a sense, as I have the ability to surround myself with people and activities that give my life light and keep me from being alone with myself. From 3 sports to 2 clubs to being involved in choir, band, and the musicals, there's little opportunity my mind has to run. On top of this, I have extraordinarily supportive friends and family who, when I run out of things to do, manage to fill the silence into a symphony. Because I rely so heavily on those around me, it makes me a very picky person on who I hang out with voluntarily, which in turn creates a rather judgmental person. Although I imagine those who know me only somewhat would not consider me judgmental, as I prioritize giving everyone equal respect, those who know me very well know I'm very meticulous with who I allow myself to be around. This is the reason I play sports that those who look in from the outside or who are more popular might not consider real sports. I'm a part of the cross-country, swimming, and tennis teams, all three of which I have precisely chosen because they all have extremely welcoming communities and natural team bonding. From 7th to 10th grade, I played baseball, a sport I truly loved and still love. However, as my high school career progressed and I was becoming my own person, I realized that the environment just wasn't for me. It felt as though the team was competing more against each other for who was better than the teams we played against. So this year, I switched over to tennis, a team with much more familiar and happy faces that I knew would keep me progressing. As a whole, Watertown High School is by no means as bad as it seems everyone cracks it up to be. If everyone truly tried as hard as I do to look deeper within the school, there are so many lovely people waiting to be found. Although it would take me hours to mention them all, I would like to bring up just a few of those people that have kept my mind away from the monsters more than anyone I know. First off, George and Cameron. These two have been by my side since the 6th grade, and they are some of the funniest and perfect people to be around. If it weren't for them, I don't know that I would have found any sport that fit my personality, but fortunately for me, George and Cam are in all three. They have helped me persist through some of the grueling parts of school and just kept a smile on my face on days when that was not easy for me. I would also like to thank Danny, Evan, and Jack. These three I met properly through the musicals. I was always into band and music since I was little, and decided to try out musicals in the 7th grade. This was one of the best decisions I ever made, as I met these three incredible individuals, who I have now created a lifelong friendship with through far more than just the musicals. From gossiping in the practice rooms before sports practices, to creating our own competitive sports in Danny's basements, these three brighten my life, and I know they all have amazing futures out of them. Finally, Riley. Riley is the one of the most extraordinary people I will ever know. I had the fortune of meeting her a little over a year ago, and ever since then, my life has been complete. She's so smart, empathetic, caring to everyone around her, and just so much more genuine than everyone else in this world. Although I'm still not even considered an adult, and I still have another year of high school, and I have a whole life ahead of me, I know what we have is special, and I only can hope that we make it through the difficult times ahead for a better life. This school has given me the opportunity to meet all these incredible people, and for that, I cannot thank it enough. Fortunately for me, I still have another year at the school to get to be around them all for longer than almost all the classmates you see speaking today. As for them, I am so grateful to have taken public speaking on a whim. As I said to Mrs. Chatterton a few weeks ago, I have now come to realize that you were not helping us break out of our shells through the speeches, but rather managed to break our social barriers by taking a classroom of kids, with our only similarity being that we take public speaking, and turning us into a family. The social skills I've learned, through group projects to pop topics to stress release days, will be a part of me for a lifetime, something I cannot say about the major majority of classes I've taken. All of these people, this school, this life, have made the young man you see speaking on the podium today no longer scared of what the crowd thinks of him, no longer self-conscious of himself, no longer a follower. My name is Jonah Stone. I still have another year of high school, but thanks to this life, I'm ready for everything and anything the future throws my way. Thank you.
Great job, Jonah. All right, lucky number 7 speech of the night is going to be Ava Verga.
When I was younger, I wish I could grow up quicker. At the age of 5, I wished I could be in double digits. By the time I was 10, I had been wishing to be a teenager. When I became a teenager, I wished to have a license. As a freshman in high school, I yearned for the day I would be graduating. During each of these events, I shared the same thought. That's so far away, it will feel like ages before we get there. However, I was extremely wrong. I stand here today as an 18-year-old woman who is graduating high school in a few weeks. As a child, I thought I would have everything figured out by the time I was 18, when in reality, I can barely write a check. I may be a legal adult, but I am merely starting my journey to college, a career, and a future that I get to do all on my own. I will be living on my own in less than 3 months from now. Younger Ava prayed for times like these, wishing for freedom and making her own decisions. I still wonder why I wished away time so constantly, as my adolescent years are nearly over. There's only so much time. As an 8th grader, my father told me my high school years were going to fly by. I never believed this because everyone had told me that. I quickly figured out that the years were turning into days. Before I even knew it, I had a license, a job, a debit card, all these things I hoped for as a child. The hope for independence and freedom. I was so focused on living in the future that I was missing the present. You'll never have the joy of being 15 turning 16 ever again. You'll never get to tear open millions of presents on Christmas again. Sure, the holiday is still in existence, but it's never going to be the same as when you were a kid. You'll never learn how to ride a bike again. The feeling of taking off the training wheels for the first time and scraping your knee on the pavement. It made you cry at the time, but it was an everlasting memory. You'll never lose your first tooth again. You'll never drive a car for the first time again. All these mediocre things we took for granted are now proving to be some of the most important. As I reflect on my childhood, I realize time is a thief that refuses to let up. High school flashed before my eyes in a matter of seconds, and I'm now standing here giving a speech to a bunch of adults who definitely experienced the same thing. If you take anything away from this speech today, realize that the smallest moments can be the most nostalgic. I would give my all to experience all of this over again, even though I did complain a lot. Grab onto time and don't let it go. You'll never get this back again. Thank you.
All right, speaker number 8 for tonight. In my opinion, the best soccer goalie there ever was. Sorry, Ava. It's Owen Lalone.
Good evening, everyone. As I stand before you today, I want to speak about how high school taught me life's ins and outs. More than any other school, high school has provided me with a comprehensive understanding of what it means to live our lives. First and foremost, high school has taught me the value of self-discipline. I have learned that success is not an accident. It takes countless hours of hard work and dedication to achieve our goals. Through the process of studying, completing assignments, and challenging ourselves academically, we learn the importance of setting priorities and sticking to them. High school has shown us that success is not granted, but rather achieved through diligent efforts and a single-minded focus. I have learned the importance of collaboration and cooperation. Throughout high school, I learned how to effectively and efficiently complete my assignments, especially at 11:30 on Sunday night. High school has offered me many opportunities to work with my peers, and in doing so, I have learned the value of multiple perspectives and the power of collective decision-making. Whether it's in the classroom or working together on team projects, I have come to understand that it takes a combined effort to achieve our goals. Moreover, working with others has taught me patience, open-mindedness, and empathy. We can only begin to see the world as they do by building relationships with people. Most importantly, high school has taught me how to learn. Of course, we've learned academic subjects and content, but beyond that, I've learned how to learn. In saying this, I don't mean I have learned how to sit at a desk and listen to my teachers, but rather high school has taught me how to think critically, ask questions, and examine ideas thoughtfully and systematically. With that in mind, I plan on continuing my education at the University of North Carolina at Charlotte, studying computer science with a concentration in cybersecurity. Thank you all for attending.
All right, third to last speech of the first half is going to be lifelong friend, Zachary Kilburn.
Okay. When I sat down to write this speech, I had no idea what I was going to write about. It was pretty much an open-ended assignment. I knew I wanted to express how much I look forward to my future, but then I realized that as I move to my next step at Lemoyne as a Dolphin, I must reflect on the past 13 years I've spent here at WHS as a Cyclone. Throughout high school, I have experienced many triumphs and failures, laughter and tears, forged friendships, and learned lessons. Despite not fully enjoying all my time as a member of WHS, I wouldn't trade it for the world. The friendships I have formed during these formative years will forever hold a special place in my heart. To my friends, you know who you are. The bonds we have created are not merely superficial connections, but rather a support system that have carried us through our highs and lows, through the late nights that turn into early mornings, shared laughter, moments of goofiness. Finding one another made us our best selves. As we embark on our individual journeys, let us remember the power of unity and the strength that comes from standing together. AKA, don't leave me after high school. To the teachers, mentors, and my parents who have guided me through this incredible journey, I cannot express enough gratitude. Your unwavering support and belief in my abilities has fueled me in my aspirations and given me my wings to soar. You have been the lighthouse that guided me through the darkest nights, and for that I will be forever grateful. As I prepare to step out into the world, I plan on carrying on the spirit of the Cyclones. As I approach every challenge, I intend to approach it with the same vigor, every step back with the same determination, and every success with the same humility that I have been taught at WHS in these past 13 years. And now I'm going to end with a piece of advice for the juniors in the class. This may be a very stereotypical piece of advice, but I feel it's the most important thing I've learned throughout my time in school. Enjoy the time you have left as a kid, because before you know it, it's going to be gone. Also, remember, once a cyclone, always a cyclone. Thank you.
All right, our second to last speaker of the first half is going to be the extraordinary Anne Fichette.
I'm just so tired. I've been through way too much this year, and I cannot say it was very fun. Kids these days have just been putting me through the ringer. Not personally, nobody's been targeting me or anything, but some of the things they say are not okay. There are white kids screaming the N-word, people calling each other retarded, calling people they don't like faggots. It's 2023, and people still don't realize that words can hurt people. Well, not, even if they don't say it directly to people, it can still hurt people. And this year alone, I've had enough panic attacks to last a lifetime. Therapy hasn't been helping, meds don't do anything, and I'm just too busy crying to get any work done in school, so my grades have been pretty bad. If there's a correct answer here, I'm incapable of finding it or using it. And the funnest part is that once I graduate, all this stuff is gonna continue, except instead of kids that are like 13 years old and don't know any better, it's gonna be adults who also don't know any better. This country doesn't really like its citizens, I've come to realize. There are laws being passed all around the states, mainly in the South, that deny transgender people basic living conditions. In Texas, it's straight up considered child abuse to have a transgender kid, and parents will get arrested for having the child to be the way they want to be. I don't care how negative I'm being. This is a reflective speech, and I'm reflecting on the genuinely deplorable things that this country is doing to people like me. If the laws weren't enough, we also get judged, discriminated against, and hated by our peers for being different from the societal norm that they've created over generations. It's so annoying to be called my birth name every day. Whenever there's a substitute, I don't have them on me, but I'll put in my headphones, put the music all the way up so I don't have to hear them, and I won't say a word. I've been marked absent a couple days for skipping, despite being in the classroom, because I refuse to listen to the substitute teacher to say my name. I can't trust this school that cannot accommodate for transgender children. I've developed such a case of inferiority that even as I'm standing on stage now, I'm scared of all of you. I don't know what you're thinking about. You could be judging me, hating me, and this is what I've been dealing with all year, worrying about what people think of me, scared of the criticism I'll get. As I walk through the hallway, I look at people and I think, does that person hate me? And I can never come to a conclusion, so I'm always stuck there worrying. Now that I'm graduating, I feel fine voicing all these criticisms and how annoyed I am with the way things are run. Over quarantine, I've grown, changed, and become a different person. Everything about school has changed, become obscenely difficult. I so desperately want to help this place improve so that nobody else goes through what I went through. But is that really possible in a school with 50 plus teachers, all with differing viewpoints? It's really telling when I'm actively terrified of half the people here, maybe even more. But hey, on the bright side, I'm stronger than those people who hate me. I refuse to become a statistic, and I will continue to do so. Everything about my life is dangerous, and it's not even because of drugs, poverty, or anything of the sort. My life is dangerous to live because of one single thing. I am a transgender female. And you know, nothing any of you do can change that. You can't change someone else to suit your needs. You can't criticize someone because of the way they are. Prejudice is really stupid, whether it be racism, sexism, homophobia, transphobia. All of it is just pointless. Pointless and annoying. All throughout school, I've chosen some really bad friends, and I'm no longer associated with those people. I am endlessly content with the friends I've kept, where I'm at now. I'm just content with all the friends that I've made and kept, but the rest of my life has been a struggle. Thank you.
Thank you, Owen. All right, our final speaker of the first half is going to be none other than Owen Primetime Phelps.
Going on this, man. So, I can't say enough about this wonderful educational facility I've spent such a long time in, you know. For the past 4 years, 2.5, but for the past 2.5 years, I've had a great time, you know, a lot of fun. I remember freshman year, a science teacher told me that the next 4 years of your life are gonna flash right by. At the time, obviously, I was like, no. But as I look back on it now, I could not agree more. The past 4 years have not felt like that at all. Felt like a decade. If I was a betting man, and I'm not, but come on, I'd say about half of my time in the school has been in the godforsaken hallways, okay? Now, I know what you're thinking. You have classes, right? Had so much time? I pity you. You've never had to deal with them, okay? They've gotten so bad, it's gotten to the point, you know, where I can't hold a conversation with anybody. They're standing right next to me, they're walking with me, you know? The second I leave a classroom, my eyes just kind of glaze over. My brain kind of goes into that primal survival mode. You never know what's going to happen in there. You might have to dodge a projectile, you know, people walking on the wrong side of the halls, just standing there. Shouldn't be that hard, but, you know, it is. Worst part is, though, the bathrooms, you know. You walk past those 5, 10, 20 people coming out. You don't know how to deal with that. A guy's got to get to algebra class, you know. He has a final he's got to take, and he's got to deal with this. Now, for my money, okay, the parking lot is like 10 times worse, okay? You ever been in there? So I've timed it, okay? And trust me, I have a watch, okay? 15 seconds. That's all you got to pull out of that parking spot, okay? After that, you're done. 5 minutes of people just walking past you, just standing in the middle of the road. You wave them on, but they don't move. They don't. They don't. And then you're stuck like creeping out, realizing you can't go, and then doing that backup of shame back into your spot. Oh my God. Too many times. But even once you get out of your spot, you know, it's not done. You get to the traffic light, right? You're sitting there, red light, contemplating all your life choices leading up to that point, as one does. Light goes green, right? You're going, nothing. Stand still, absolutely nothing, okay? Guy at the front has no idea what's going on, you know? I mean, by the time everyone starts honking your horn, I mean, I'm in my car, I'm trying to get my Bluetooth in my car to work. I'm not paying attention to the light, okay? I'm trying to play Smoke on the Water on there. By the time I look up, it's a yellow light, and if I don't go, they're gonna kick my ass, okay? So I gotta go. So I basically run a red light, leave all the other people behind me. I mean, that's just how it is, you know? You know how earlier I said I wasn't a betting man? I lied. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, so, you know, I've met some really nice people, you know, really the best of the best. Can't think of any names off the top of my head, but, you know, like 90% sure I met them. Pretty sure. You know, some people I'd really, you know, like to make some money with, you know, make a business. You know, 10, 15 years down the road, you know, you get a message, right? Hey, Owen, you want to be your own boss? All you got to do, you're going to buy my product, and you're going to sell it all to your friends and family for a markup, right? And I mean, like, what a great idea, okay? I have tons of friends and family. okay? I'm gonna sell all of my stuff. We're gonna be so rich together, okay? The only issue we're gonna have is what color our matching Ferraris are gonna be after we make our millions, you know, launder it. But, you know, I've always kind of been on that grind, you know. Over the past year, you know, I've helped aid a new economy, make a whole new currency. By helped, I mean I came in last second, put my name on it, and said maybe we should do sports betting. So I did. For about 2 weeks, I was printing out odds for Celtics games, handing out people my fake money, and then giving it back to me because, you know, the odds, you might win. Nobody ever did. No, one person did. They won 400 Cyclone bucks. I never paid it out to them, but that's, you know, besides the point. You know, but I'm just waiting for it to get off the ground, you know, in like the crypto sphere. You know, I'm really into that blockchain stuff, you know. When I make it, you know, Watertown Cyclone coin, you guys gotta invest, okay? You gotta take like $5,000, $10,000, give them to me, please. And, you know, I'm gonna put in this coin. If it hits a penny, we're all gonna be billionaires, okay? Come on, please. Like, please. You know, I really do. I enjoy spending my time here. You know, I really do thank everybody here. You know, I'll be here 4 more days, 7 to 2:30, no later than that, please. And I'll be gone, okay? And frankly, although I'm a little happy, you know, I'll miss it, kinda. But that's all I got. Thank you very much. I appreciate it all. I hate everything. I'm giving you the mic.
Wow. I'm sorry, I don't know anyone's going to top that today. All right, well, that's the end of the first half. We have some snacks and concessions in the back if you're interested, and we will return in about 10 minutes. Thank you. Testing. Hello. Okay. All right, before we start the second half, just another quick round of applause for the first half. Very well done. And to introduce the second half is none other than Jonah Stone. Take it away.
Kicking off our second half is the beautiful and wonderful Kayla Chest reading I'm Truly Ready for Life.
Holy crap. It's hot. Okay. Okay. Hi. Let's just take a moment and look around and see how much we've grown. 80% of my classmates, I've been going to school with them since elementary school, and seeing them grow into their personalities truly makes me proud. But this isn't about my classmates, but about me and about me and the life of me in school. I've always been seen as aggressive and the fighter, or always in drama, but that wasn't who I was at all. I actually enjoy learning in school. I'm very passionate about dancing and old school hip hop. I'm super sensitive. I love nature and everything about it. But rarely anyone knew that about me, or actually took the time to ask. I have some teachers that saw my beauty and connected with me, and I started to see theirs, and it saved me from becoming someone I would have hated in the long run. I've been bullied in school, been in tons of school fights, and teachers misjudging me because of things they don't understand. It hurts when people make jokes about me being scary when I'm the kindest person in the world. This year of high school, I've grown so much, more than I can even imagine. But I'm okay with it. I overcame my anxiety and my depression and grew control over my emotions in my life. December 24th, I found out I was pregnant. My first reaction was to cry. Most people in my situation would be scared and wouldn't be happy at all. But I was crying because I couldn't control my happiness. It was genuinely so rewarding for me, and some of you may be confused, but the story behind that feeling is another long story. But today's story is about me letting go everything that's hurt me in the past, because I'm a mother now. And I still giggle at the fact that I'm going to bring life in the world. But I'm ready. I can't wait to teach her all the lessons I've learned. I can't wait to have someone in my life that I can forever protect and love me for me. I hope she has a big personality, and I hope she's confident like me, and let the world know her opinion. I let people hurt me and break me from the person that I used to be, and I thought it was okay. But as life went on, I learned that I never should have let anyone shut me up. I'm so proud of myself. I felt a part of my heart that I never knew existed when I met my boyfriend. And finding out I'm having a baby girl with the first person who's gave me true love and happiness. I felt everything I've ever prayed for came to me. Thank you to my loving parents, my beautiful loving parents, actually, for raising me and loving me and taking care of me. Thank you to my siblings for being tough on me and being my best friends. Thank you to my wonderful teachers who saw me for the real me when no one else did. Thank you to the staff members that were hard on me in school because it helped me in ways they don't understand. Thank you to my wonderful and supportive boyfriend for being the most amazing person I've ever. And I want to lastly thank myself for never giving up on myself and staying true to myself. Now look at me leaving school, becoming a wonderful mother. I appreciate you all for listening. Thank you.
Amazing job, Kayla. And our 13th speaker of the night is the charming Eliza Zool.
I was 13 coming into this school, and I'm now leaving it at 17. A part of me feels as though these 4 years have gone by too fast, and the other part feels like I've been here for 10 years. Throughout these 4 years, I've learned many things. 1, never go to the bathrooms during passing period. It'll be too crowded to do anything in there, and if you actually by chance have to use it for its intended use, expect dirty looks from those socializing, because God forbid you actually have to use the bathroom. 2, school lunch is not worth it. Pack snacks if you can, or suffer through the hunger. I'd rather not have congealed milk again. And last, bug spray is a must-have. You all know what that's about. All jokes aside, high school has been an experience I'll never forget, with this year being the best yet. I have made many new friends and connected with old ones. I also met my boyfriend. I've had infinite new experiences, and I've learned so much. This year has been pretty jam-packed with a schedule of 10 classes every day and 6 different finals to study for. I was pretty busy, but I made time for the school musical. My favorite memories consist of staying in school till 9 p.m. to paint tree cutouts and eating half a box of pizza, and the .5 photos. I'll never forget My Last Love on Top, a tradition our school has before every musical. A song is played and we all dance before each show to shake off the nerves. And the sadness when Phantom the Bat fell on stage during the last act. You will forever be in our hearts. Overall, this year has been amazing. I've done so many things I never thought I'd get the chance to do due to COVID. There is so much I'm going to miss, but looking forward, there's a lot I'm excited for. Going to college, traveling, and all the things in between. Thank you.
Great job, Eliza. Sorry. Welcome our 14th speaker. She joined us late, but has made just as much an impact, Maddie Rambone.
An ode to self. Pushing forward when every day feels the same. Waking up with nothing in my brain. Feeling nothing but a sense of stress and shame. But overcoming all the same. Working hard, little to show. I always know there's more to go. More to me than grades and work. It makes me feel like such a jerk. Coming home, feeling alone. No energy, tired endlessly. But then I'll get a strong epiphany. Sometimes we're so caught up in the stresses of the past, the present, and the future that we forget about what we already have. I'm so hard on myself that I forget about all the things I've already overcome and accomplished within my life. My childhood wasn't exactly the best, and I started to grow up desperately trying to please the people around me. Despite this need, I didn't understand emotions or affection enough to be able to reach out and connect with others. But at the end of my 7th grade year, I was finally able to get out of that household, and I moved into my dad's house. When that began, I finally started to learn what it meant to love and be loved, and he protected me and cared for me, things I really never received when I was younger. I was able to overcome my childhood depression and started to feel so many different things. My friends and family have been there for me unconditionally, and I live to pass that kindness forward. I spend every day trying to better myself, not only for others, but for myself now. So when it feels like you're at the end, when it feels like you're at rock bottom, it might not get better today, it might not get better tomorrow, next month, next year, but one day it will. Thank you.
Incredible job, Maddie. Next up is the man who'll talk your ear off, Luciano Guarino.
To my past self. Hey there. It's been quite a while since we last chatted. Looking back, I realized I did not give you enough credit for the person you were. I used to blame you for many things and distance myself from our shared memories. But now, as I approach graduation, I want to acknowledge your positive impact on my life. We felt lost and unsure where we belonged when we entered high school. It was a challenging transition, and I understand why you were scared and struggled to find your place. I see now that your immaturity, loudness, and boundless energy were just symptoms of growing up, and are still part of me today. In those early years, school was tough and our grades suffered. I never dared to try out for sports because I felt intimidated by athletes much taller than me. Connecting with people was a struggle too, and despite having all that energy, it wasn't easy to channel it into meaningful interactions. But something clicked. We reached our breaking point when we contemplated our future and realized that I did not want to continue on the same path. I wanted something more, something better. And so I set some ambitious goals: making friends, achieving good grades, and becoming a star athlete. I'll admit, those goals were some exaggerated, stereotypical Luciano way to make goals. However, they motivated us to make a change. So as we approached those years, we were determined to be a better Luciano, determined to leave our comfort zone when we started high school, and I knew I could not spend lunchtime avoiding interaction any longer. My goal starting freshman year was to start interacting with new people. It was scary, but I summoned the confidence to approach different people and initiate conversation. I did this by going to every single lunch table and saying, "Hi, I'm Luciano. Can I sit here, please?" And then waiting for an answer. For most people, this was extremely awkward. However, with some luck, I was able to find a lunch table to sit at. So it was a good start. I have a lot of fond memories sitting at the lunch table, so that was one goal achieved. With newfound confidence, I didn't stop there. I started focusing on my athletics. I was already part of the golf team then. My dad was a significant factor in me being the golf team. But I wanted to do something more than just playing one sport. I had a goal of playing 3 sports during the school year. So with that goal in mind, I started my journey. I did not know how to start or who to ask. It was even scary to think that you even had a chance of a varsity level on any team. However, more luck came into place, and I found someone least expected to help me. This someone, who I was not close friends with up until that point, I suppose you're wondering why. It might be because the first interaction with him was sitting at his lunch table and stealing his cheese puffs. By the way, Zach, I appreciate you for letting me borrow those cheese puffs for all these years. So, Zach approached me and asked me to join the swim team. I did eventually say yes, I would join the swim team. From that point forward, it was a struggle, but progress was being made along the way, and it was one of the best decisions I ever made. I met so many incredible people on that team and a coach that mentored me for years. I eventually even joined the cross-country team and finally achieved my goal of playing 3 sports. Finally, I wanted academic achievement. This goal was by far the hardest I set for myself. Up until that point, I never really pushed myself in my classes. I was very dependent on my parents for guidance and never tried to grow and learn as a person. However, my teachers gave me a new perspective, and they understood that I could do way better than what I was putting out. So I started seeking help when needed and putting effort into improving my grades. And you know what? It paid off. My hard work and determination started to yield positive results, and I began to see my potential. To the teachers who have helped me grow and put up with me all these years, I appreciate it. With that being said, I have some things I regret, which may be why I was so harsh on you, my past self. I was closed off for so long that I did not realize that I could have a great circle of friends I have today. For example, Ryan Povin, the absolute Chad, Mr. Calisthenics himself, as I like to call him. And I'll leave it there before his head gets too big. Maddox, my partner in crime, the math genius himself. Remember me when you're the face of YouTube. I could keep going on with everyone here, but I regret not being able to be friends with you much sooner because sometimes I felt closed off. I felt like I was more of a school friend to so many people and never felt included sometimes. I've always wanted to be part of something because at times I felt like I had nothing. I finally had everything I wanted and I was so scared of it going away. This was a big insecurity of mine, but moving forward, I know I have good friends, and I'm so happy that last year I felt most included that I've ever been, and that is because of you guys. So, dear past self, your dreams of making friends, exceeding academically, and becoming a star athlete were not all in vain. It took time and effort, but we achieved significant progress in all these areas. I no longer shy away from social situations, my grades improved significantly, and I've become an active participant in sports. I wanted to acknowledge your journey and express your gratitude for the person you were. I'm so proud of how far we've come and excited to continue growing and evolving as a person as we move forward in life. Sincerely, Luciano. Thank you.
Great job, Luciano. I'm proud of you. Next up is the man you can't help but have a smile around, Elijah Kekwava.
My name is Elijah B.K. Cuevo. The top 6 things I learned in high school are: 1, keep your circle small. 2, don't let people dictate your future. 3, find your teachers that make you feel successful and build with them. 4, get on good terms with the hall monitors, aka Pete, Officer Davis, even the attendance lady. They'll make your life easier and be your support system. 5, the principals aren't that bad as I put them out to be, just needed to grow up a little bit. 6, find your village, whether it's your mom, your dad, your friends, no matter who it is, find your village. Now, there is a lot of stuff I can say about it, but I wanted to save some time to talk about what I look forward to after high school. Truth is, I have had a lot of time to think what I want to do, but in all reality, it's not just that simple. My plans after high school is to attend college and veterinarian practices throughout my 2 years at Jefferson Community College. Now, I plan to learn as much as possible, then change colleges to practice further into animal care. One dream I have had ever since my kitten Ella had medical problems and my dog Nova had parvo, which is very deadly in dogs less than a year old, is open up my own vet and always accept new clients no matter the situation. Animals should be valued like us humans and cared for always. Now, before I end this off, I want to say thank you to Miss Chatterton for being my best friend and my teacher and never judging me for my past. You always remember to slay, Queen. I also want to thank Miss Gillum. Because when we first met each other, it was to screaming at each other. What a first grade impression, huh? I want to thank you for being real, for never giving up on me, and for pushing me from behind this whole year. Thank you. Pete, I want to give a huge thank you for you dealing with my bullshit for the past couple of years and for pushing me. I'm glad you was on the roller coaster with me. You helped me continue to ride it, so thank you. And thank you.
Great job, Elijah. Next up is our third to last speaker, a girl who's soft-spoken but with powerful words. She'll be reading Shades and Colors, Bridget Ard.
Afraid for the next step, roaming up this infinite staircase, tumbling backwards occasionally, yet learning and growing, traveling higher up to the sky, running but my legs tremble, frequently camping for days but never stopping. The flight goes on, confidence as well. Having completed this journey, my stares have heightened and brightened. Remembering this scene, forever stuck in my head, though through the difficulty, joy, and excitement, this adventure only goes up. Thank you.
Incredible job, Bridget. Our second to last speaker is none other than everyone's favorite president, Daniel Todhunter.
First, I'd like to thank everyone for coming to our public speaking final this year. We've had a lot of fun this year, and we've discovered a lot about ourselves and each other. Now, on to me specifically. I'd like to start with this year. I've struggled a lot. I've struggled with Algebra 2, which was not helped by algebra, but we'll come back to that later. But despite all the struggling this year, I have had a lot of fun still. I've met a lot of amazing people, many of whom are in this room right now. I've gotten to do a lot of really fun speeches, like my presidential speech. After all, we all know burgers and fries never tell lies. My only regret about my speeches it's not doing new math for my song speech. Despite that, I did also get to create a product commercial, which had some interesting side effects and was not approved by the CDC. And then right after that, in acting, we made commercials. Almost makes you wonder if it was planned. And then I got to release my creativity in creative writing, which inspired me to write stories I never would have thought of on my own. And then outside of school, I've had fun in D&D club, where some very interesting stuff has happened. I've had fun during vacations, going to Germany and Austria for the first time and getting to experience a whole new culture. I've had fun going on weekend camping trips with my scout friends. But we can't just look back at this year and know everything there is to know about me. So we're gonna go back to last year. My first year actually entering the high school. It was a really terrifying experience, and it took a while to get used to, especially during COVID, but I made it through. And better than I expected to for my first in-person year. I even had fun that year. I got to take acting for the first time, performing in Hamlet in Vegas, which did not go anything according to plan, but was still a ton of fun. And besides for proofs, geometry was kind of fun too. And while it was quite an interesting year, it was nowhere near as bad as I expected. And now, let's move on to my freshman year. Or more universally, the COVID year. I was completely virtual that whole year, which led to me struggling not only that year, but this year too. I learned absolutely nothing, which was further proven by my Algebra 2 grade this year. And, well, I struggled through that year, and now this one. So, what I've learned from my so far 3 years of high school: 1, unlearning 8+ years of habit is extremely difficult at the best of times. 2, math is hard and I don't like it. 3, English is easier than math. And 4, COVID ruined my education. I hope those of you who haven't gone through high school yet can learn from these lessons early. And once again, thank you everyone for coming to our public speaking final this year.
Great job, Dan. And last but certainly not least, my co-host, Maddox Ward.
Three weeks from now, I'll be walking across the podium at graduation, and I'll receive my high school diploma. And as I stand here before you all today, I can't help but have conflicting feelings about it all. On one hand, myself and the rest of the students here tonight have been working towards this moment for the last 13 years of our lives. But naturally, that also comes with the feelings of anxiety and existential dread. Starting in August, I'll be attending Quinnipiac University in Hamden, Connecticut, which for those who don't know is about a 5-hour drive. And that's before you factor in all the rest stop visits. Trust me, it adds up quick. Now I know what you're thinking. Well, this college doesn't even have a D1 college football team, so why does it matter? Well, for starters, I plan on majoring in film, TV, media production, and journalism. Doesn't sound nearly as cool as star quarterback, but for what I was planning on going for, I needed a school that revolved heavily around communications. Let me tell you, there were a lot of great contenders, and by the time I needed to start applying, I was still clueless. So I just sent out applications to every single college I was even slightly considering. Yeah, maybe not the most budget-friendly idea, but if it was going to help me determine the place I'll be for the next 4 years, then so be it. There are so many things I love about Quinnipiac, and the weird thing is I'm still scared to my core. but I'm getting way too ahead of myself. This is supposed to be a self-reflection of myself over my high school career. So let's jump back in time to 2019, the start of freshman year. As I started ninth grade, I was filled with excitement as I was about to start a brand new chapter in my life. After all, my 8th grade experience ended on the highest note you could imagine. I had just finished being in the production of the school's musical. Zach, Jonah, you can attest to this. I got a 99 on the algebra regents. Don't ask me how I did that. And I had the honor of witnessing so many fights that it got to the point where we had to be dismissed separately by floors. But yeah, Case Middle School, 10 out of 10, would recommend. 9th grade, I was hopeful that my experience would be just a little bit better. And for the most part, it was. Everyone in the school acted a lot more mature. I was able to pick electives that piqued my interest. And it wasn't Case Middle School, so naturally I was going to enjoy it a lot more. But like all things in life, when you reach the high points, you can only go down from there. And boy, did it go down. My morale went so far down that even the Mariana Trench was like, oh damn. March 13th, 2020, or as some of you might know it, the day I wish I could forget. I remember getting the phone call from the superintendent. Watertown City School District will be closed for the foreseeable future due to the outbreak of COVID-19. Just when I thought I was on my way to having the best school year of my life, it got even better. No school, 3 more months of summer vacation. This was every kid's dream. I mean, there was a deadly virus that was running rampant across the world, but no school. Well, that's what I thought. I was so oblivious. We spent the rest of 9th grade going to school virtually because apparently the school still wanted kids to be learning, which is outrageous if you ask me. Before I move on to my 10th grade year, I already know what you're thinking. COVID, it's a long, drawn-out topic, you know. Well, since I knew I was going last today, I didn't want to come up here and say the same things that everyone's already said about the pandemic, which is why I'll try my best to make it as interesting and fresh as possible. But in my defense, we were forced to stay at home 24/7, so just cut me a little bit of slack. 10th grade, things were definitely not going back to normal. School had now switched over to hybrid learning. The lessons the teachers taught us were stupidly easy. If it were any other year, seeing these lessons would have been a dream come true. And the best part, we took tests online. Let's be real here. If any of you were to walk up here right now and tell me that you didn't cheat on a test at least once, you're just lying. Either way, I would have been getting hundreds on every single assignment. Keyword being would've. Because little did I know that this would be the roughest year of my life, both inside and outside of the classroom. During hybrid learning, the school had a system where homework was assigned on Wednesdays and everything would be due the following Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. Seems pretty lenient, right? I mean, you get a full week to complete everything assigned to you. Well, I took advantage of that extra time, and I would wait until Tuesday morning before even thinking about starting my homework. I knew this was a bad idea, and yet I still continued to do it for the rest of the school year. And thinking back on it now, I understand why I did it. I was so burned out. Since day one of elementary school, I've held on to this mentality where I feel the need to put in 110% effort into everything I do. And as a result of me keeping that grueling mindset for over a decade straight and then suddenly having this drastic change in my life, I pretty much lost all motivation to do anything. I stopped exercising, I stopped hanging out with friends, I stopped eating healthy, and I stopped participating in nearly every extracurricular activity. I was headed down a bad path, and I was pretty much in denial of all of it. But that was until the summer leading up to junior year. I was at my annual physical, you know, like you do, and I just naturally assumed that everything was going to be normal. Well, that should have been the first warning sign. When the doctor told me that I had a mild case of scoliosis, I was at high risk of high cholesterol, and I was considered overweight for the first time in my life. I wasn't really sure how to process what I heard. The only emotion that I remember feeling at the moment was anger. I was mad at the test results. I was mad at COVID, mainly because that's just an easy target. But most of all, I was mad at myself. As soon as I realized how much of a hole I dug myself into, my perfectionist mindset kicked into gear instantly. That very same day, I made a goal for myself to change all of my unhealthy habits. I went on a calorie deficit. I started going outside and exercising more. And I began to manage my time in a much more responsible, stress-free way. As I entered 11th grade and school returned to being in person, I started seeing positive results instantly. Over the following 6 months, I had dropped nearly 40 pounds, my grades were starting to see improvements, and my morale was at the highest it's been since freshman year. But then the icing on the cake, the mask mandate was lifted. The first day that we returned to school without wearing masks was very interesting. Not just because we got to see each other's faces for the first time in over a year, but the aura that everyone was giving off was a little bit different. I could feel a sense of relief, a sense of happiness, a sense of things finally returning to normal again. Yes, I may have been experiencing a revival of both my mental and physical health already, but there was still one more area that I had to recover, my social health. I started hanging out with this friend group in January of last year, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this. These people have genuinely changed my life for the better in so many ways. They helped me escape out of the shell that I was hiding in for the better part of 2 years. They convinced me to try new things, which otherwise I would have probably refused to do, like skiing, or going on extremely daunting rides at the fair, or getting my driver's license. No matter what the challenge was, they would always be by my side, supporting me every step of the way, and they still do to this day. There have been many times when I've asked myself, what did I do to deserve such loving and supportive friends? I'm just a regular guy. And I constantly have the urge to repay them for the countless ways they benefited my life. But I feel like no matter what I do, nothing would be enough to show my gratitude and appreciation for them. So to the people I'm referring to, you know who you are, I hope what I'm about to say will adequately show my admiration. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for giving me your unconditional love and support every single day. Thank you for helping me feel significant in this unfathomably large world. I know this might sound cliche, but I genuinely don't know where I'd be without you guys. Thank you for being you. I love you guys so much. And now as I reflect on my 12th grade year, I can say with full certainty that this was the best year of my high school career. My grades are at an all-time high. I'm now part of the AV club where I have the chance to edit the morning announcements and sometimes be in front of the camera. I also joined the high school's first ever volunteering club. I'm also an official, unofficial marketer for the high school where I basically make commercials and flyers to promote different school events. And I was fortunate enough to receive the position as the senior class treasurer, somehow. Outside of academics, my online business has finally started kicking off, which I'm really excited about. Also, shameless plug, but subscribe to my YouTube. Thank you. I finally found a field of study that I want to pursue. It only took me until a week before college applications were due, but I figured it out. I was also going to mention how my physical health has been better than ever, but I literally just got a respiratory infection last week, so we're just going to skip over that part. But overall, I'm very pleased with how this year turned out. So, if you're confused why at the beginning of the speech I said that I was dreading going to college, it's as simple as this. I don't want to leave my friends and family. There are so many amazing people that I've had the privilege of meeting over the years, and to think that by the end of the summer, it'll all be taken away from me is so heartbreaking. So I figured I'd say something to you all now before I regret saying nothing later. Hi guys. To the seniors here tonight, think back to our freshman year, when we stepped foot into the high school for the first time. At that moment, we all gained this feeling of maturity, as if we were old enough to make our own decisions, when in reality, we were only 13 years old. Only 4 years later, that feeling is now a reality. Now, me saying this wasn't meant to scare you, but it's my reminder to you all that we only have about 3 more months before we head off in our own directions. Don't take any time for granted. Make as many memories as you can. Hang out with as many friends and as many times as you can. Enjoy as many precious seconds as you can. And when we eventually have to say our goodbyes to each other, tears might be shed, and our yearbooks might be clutched in our hands like it's the Holy Grail, but we'll be carrying those unbreakable bonds and fond memories with us as we begin the next chapter of our lives. I'm gonna miss each and every one of you, and I'm not just saying that because I want to. Even though I've only known some of you this year, I feel like we've all become some part of a huge family. And I couldn't be more grateful to be in such an amazing class, with such amazing peers and such an amazing teacher. And to all of the parents here tonight, whether your child's a senior or not, thank you for your unconditional love and support. Not just this year, but during every moment since the first day of kindergarten. Your dedication to making us the best possible versions of ourselves will not go unnoticed. And now our final stop, graduation. Let's go Cyclones. Thank you.
Amazing ending, Maddox. And now I believe we have Mrs. Chatterton with closing remarks and awards.
Thank you all. Thank you to my class. I love you. Come to school tomorrow so I can see you, okay? I love you. Thank you everyone for coming and supporting these kids. I love them so much. I'm sure you could not tell it all, but we have a lot of fun in public speaking. So I have some fun awards for them tonight, and they're all rooted in food, because that's kind of my thing. If you were wondering why there's a weird collection of groceries over here. So I'm gonna move over here. Okay. Okay. So the first award is the Cake Award. The Cake Award goes to a student who has many layers to their personality. And this student is Jack Clough. You're welcome. Okay. Our second award is the Lemon Award. The Lemon Award goes to a student who has a zest for life. Congratulations to Luciano Guarino. Woo! Yes. Lemons. Okay. Now we have the Chicken Noodle Soup Award. The Chicken Noodle Soup Award goes to a student who brings comfort wherever they go, and none other than Claire Burns. Now we have the cheese. The Cheese Award goes to a student who has great style. Okay, and is a sharp dresser. Okay, congratulations to Adele Lanphier. Next up, in our grocery tour, we have the Iceberg Lettuce Award. The Iceberg Lettuce Award goes to a student who has a good head on their shoulders. Congratulations to Maddie Rambone! Woo! Here's your head of lettuce. And your award. Thank you. Good. Now we have the Grape Award. The Grape Award goes to a student who works hard, so their grades are always raisin, which to me represents the absolute most improved, which is, without question, on Fichette. Oh, this is a lot of grapes. You made out. This is good.
I realized I didn't improve all year.
You did. That's nice. Okay. The Popcorn Award. The Popcorn Award goes to a student who loves to tell corny jokes, but they're good jokes. Congratulations to Owen Primetime Phelps, baby. Okay. The Cotton Candy Award. The Cotton Candy Award goes to a student who always gives a task a whirl, even if it is difficult. Oh, I'm so funny. Congratulations to Bridget Ard. Bridget, we couldn't find cotton candy, so you just get regular candy, sir. Okay. Perfect. Okay. The Donut Award. The Donut Award goes to a student I don't ever have to worry about. Congratulations to Jonah Stone. It's just a donut from tonight. The Bee Award. I hope you like beets. The Bee Award goes to a student whose character and integrity are hard to beat. Congratulations to Maddox Ward. You get all the beats. There you go. The Pineapple Award. The Pineapple Award goes to a student who is unique and original. Congratulations to Luna Eisenhower.
My mom, she can juice it.
Okay, perfect. The Cucumber Award. The Cucumber Award goes to a student who is calm, cool, and collected. Congratulations to Zach Kilburn. The Passion Fruit Award. Passion Fruit Award goes to a student who is very passionate about all of their interests. Congratulations to Ava Verga. The Cookie Award. The Cookie Award goes to a student who is one smart cookie. Congratulations to Eliza Zool. Yes. It's from tonight, yes. The Onion Award. The Onion Award goes to a student who always roots for other students' success. Congratulations to Elijah Kekwava. You're welcome. Oh. Okay, now we have the Avocado. The Avocado Award goes to a student who is good for your heart. Congratulations to Owen Lalonde. Yeah, it's not ripe yet, so you can make guacamole in a couple days. Okay. The Olive Award. The Olive Award goes to a student all of the other students love to be around. Congratulations to the man, DT. The Taco Award. The Taco Award goes to a student you can talk about anything to. Congratulations to Kayla Chest. I'll meet you halfway, Mama. And last but certainly not least, the Ice Cream Award goes to a student who has a super chill personality. Congratulations to Ryan Podvin. Okay. And that's it, folks. Thanks so much for coming.